Welcome to the High Voltage Racing League here on iRacing, the Atlanta 200. This race is presented by RK Productions. And last week we saw you. Michael Skinner went to victory lane. The last track we were at was basically full throttle in race. Welcome back. I don't think this track is really going to change anything in terms of that.
No, sir. I think, of course, as the tire wear progresses, we'll probably have to get out of the throttle a little bit. I haven't been in the B car in a while. Probably not in probably the last two seasons I've been in, so I can't tell you too much. But I do know Atlanta's very abrasive on the tires. I don't think we'll be pedal to the metal for the whole run. But like from here, watching qualifying, definitely a lot of pedal to the metal, Justin. Am I right?
I'd have to agree with you there. So right now our pole sitter at the moment is Chester Gibson. Again, this is a one-round sort of qualifying here. So everyone going to get multiple chances to hit the track and try and improve their time. But Chester got into the wall there just a little bit. But free repairs here. So Michael Skinner, your winner last week, is currently second on the board. But again, anything can change as we still have about 8 minutes left here in this qualifying session. You know what, let's take a quick second to go on board with Michael and see how much he lifts here. So we're going to get him entering turn 1 right now, and we'll see how much. I don't believe this is his first lap in a run, so. You could hear there just a little blip in the throttle, and it wasn't much getting out of it. So, again, go from one high-speed racetrack to another, and really not losing much speed through the corners. But as Ray said, it will all change as the tires start to wear, as this track is very abrasive on tires. So Nate Lackamy has jumped to the top spot on the board now in that number 001 Chevrolet. Gonna have to wait for Trading Paints here to refresh.
Yeah, I was actually keeping an eye on Nate Lacomi. Seemed to have been struggling with practice the whole time. It looks like he's finally pulled that together for, what is that, a 29.320, beating second place Chester Gibson by about 1/100th. So very close. I think, let's see, it looks like first to, goodness, all the way down to 10th. I mean, we're in a 10th of each other. So very tight qualifying here. Could change. Of course, it's a very long qualifying session as well. So we'll see how long that holds up.
So still just a lot of time here left for people to make runs. With that, we're going to take a quick break here real quick. Again, very quick, and we'll be right back. Okay, I gotta refresh Trading Paints here real quick. One thing I forgot to do. That was kind of quick. Was he the only one that, yeah. um... Yeah. Alright, I think everyone on track right now has their cars updated, so we'll go back real quick. Where is Corey? Okay, Corey's on track still, so when he pulls in, we'll take him off. Alright, and welcome back. So you just got a unintentional look in on what we do during commercial breaks. Again, that was unintentional, but another mistake by me today. So
I don't buy it, Justin. That was intentional. Fess up.
Yeah, just a little look in there I wanted to give you. So, nothing's really changed up front. Nate Lackamy is still the pole sitter with about 5 minutes left here to go in qualifying. Chester Gibson currently sitting second. Cole Bagunia third. Corey Blevins fourth. And Michael Skinner fifth. Our most recent winner here in the High Voltage Racing League.
Looks like Nate Lacombe actually went out and set a faster lap. If I'm not mistaken, the lap that got him to first place was a 29.33. Looks like he's gone out and set a 29.30 to further solidify himself to that top spot. Still very close first to, let's see, about now ninth place, or within a tenth of each other on the board. We got about 5 minutes left in qualifying, maybe 4 minutes left in qualifying. So plenty of time to improve your position. Looks like Nathan's got a pretty quick lap up there with a 29.308.
And that's just like we see out of Nate. He was racing in the 3-Wide Racing League for a while and basically just won about every pole, so it's not too big of a surprise to see him up here up front, especially on these 1.5 miles.
Yes, sir, that is the truth. Always up there on the board in qualifying. Let's just see, can Nate put together a full 133 laps. Pretty long race today. I mean, that's a pretty sizable distance. It's the 1.5-mile track, Atlanta. We all know about Atlanta. No need for me to explain it. Long race today. I'm really interested to see how it all goes together. Of course, I was absent for Daytona, but, you can't really compare Daytona to Atlanta. Daytona is pretty much its own beast. So we'll get a real good look at where the ceiling is for skill tonight on this beautiful Saturday evening, even though it's daytime in Atlanta.
Yes, sir, we will.
When do we get nighttime at Atlanta? Am I right?
That's a good question, yeah. It'd be kind of cool here in iRacing.
Has anybody noticed that every video game, Homestead is in the day, but Homestead is ran when, Justin?
During the night. However, in 2010, it was actually finished during the day, but it's been quite a long time since we've had one finished during the day.
I'm just looking for some realism in my life, Justin. You know what I mean?
I absolutely understand.
We pay good money.
Yes,
Am I
sir.
right?
Yes, sir. So we're going to pull Corey Blevins here in real quick, because it looks like he's just about done with his qualifying run. Corey, you got us?
Yep, 10-4.
All right, so you were talking us before the race on how good the car was for about 3 laps, and it started falling off. Did it seem like that was the same case here in qualifying?
Well, I didn't run more than 3 laps, so I can't really say that. I would
Okay.
say that the third lap, it was kind of equal. I ran 3 laps during that, and it seemed to be pretty equal speed. You can carry full throttle in the 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 you have to let out just a little bit, just enough to get the nose down deep into the corner.
So another question, I guess. Did you find really change from practice to qualifying here in terms of how the track felt, how the car felt, anything like that?
I didn't see much of a change. Maybe I would say a tad tighter, possibly. I got a better lap out of it. It felt a little bit more comfortable in 3 and 4, which I had been struggling with. So I'm pretty proud of 5th place right now. It's not bad.
So I guess the main question here, how confident do you feel going into tonight's race?
I feel like I definitely have a top 5 car, if not better than that. Just hopefully we can salvage something out of it. A win is always good, but top 5 is not bad either. But leading the most laps last week, I'd like to do that again this week. But Nate looks pretty fast tonight.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck for you. Good luck to you tonight, and hope to talk to you later tonight.
All right, thanks.
That was Corey Blevins, driver of the number 99 car. He'll be, as it looks like right now, starting 5th place here tonight, as we only have about 30 seconds left on the clock. Again, he was talking to us earlier before the broadcast started on how turn 4 was probably going to be the trouble spot here tonight, and for pretty good reason, I'd say, because when you come off that corner, we saw a lot of guys here in practice and in qualifying, when they came off that corner, it looked like that was where they hit the most.
Oh yeah, I was just watching qualifying go on, and the number 8 of Gunther Dotson came spinning out of turn 4. So it looks like we got some loose conditions. That turn does seem to start to flatten out before the turn really ends. So you've got a lot of wheel in it, but you're losing that banking and already a loose track. So that's definitely a turn to watch tonight.
So Nate Lackamy will be on the pole for tonight. Chester Gibson will start beside him on row number 1. Then Cole Bagunian in 3rd. Richard Lafferty in 4th. Actually, no. Briar LaPrade is going to take 4th away from Richard Lafferty. And Richard will start 5th. And then Corey Blevins, will, the guy we were just talking to, will start 6th here tonight. So we'll wait for them to grid up here. So, Race, with you not being here last week, seeing some of the practice, what do you expect here for tonight?
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to say too much because, of course, I haven't seen this group of guys yet. And even if I did see them at Daytona, this is a different type of track. I can say off experience, I do race with Richard Lafferty and Michael Skinner on a regular basis. Richard, he's always one to watch out for. I have raced with Nate Lacombe before. I think it'd be interesting to see if he can put together a full race. He's always got the speed, but doesn't necessarily have the consistency. So let's see if he can maybe improve on that this evening. And of course, like I said earlier, make sure we keep an eye on turn 4 and see what type of racing or racing incidents it turns into tonight.
Yes, sir. Just like last week, we got a couple guys from the Three-Wide Racing Series, the series that we had normally broadcasted. Carlos Acosta being one of them, and again, last week's winner, Michael Skinner. And as Race just pointed out, Richard Lafferty piloting that number 88. Normally the 8 in Three-Wide Racing, but we'll be piloting the 88 tonight. So these guys just finishing gridding up. Again, the scoring just kind of a bit messed up here over on our end, so that's why we started calling out what we had before in preparation for this, but should be only one pace lap here tonight, and then we'll be getting going. So with the beginning portion of this race, we should see a lot of flat out through both corners, and that'll probably end around lap 3. Maybe, actually, probably around lap 2 with how abrasive the surface is on the tires. It takes them pretty quickly. So 133 laps here tonight, as you just saw at the top. So it's going to be a pretty long night for these guys. As we are rolling and getting set to go.
Looks like the 98 didn't qualify. What's all about that?
Yeah, another mistake by me tonight. Accidentally joined as a driver due to force of habit. So it disregard Justin Kolb in the number 98. So that's actually me. Obviously, I'm up in the booth, so I can't be driving at the same time.
It's okay, Justin. We still love you.
Well, I appreciate that.
You make it hard, all right?
I sensed a bit of sarcasm in that, but
No. We love you. You make it hard, but I can dig deep down, find the love and appreciation I have for my broadcast colleague.
well, thank you. So these guys just heading into turn 3 now, and should be a very interesting race. Last week it was all flat out, as we said, and this one for the first about 2 laps should be just about the same. Last week was
Also
really
looking to keep an eye on. Oh, I'm sorry, Justin.
all I was going to say was last week was just about chance. Really, this week you're going to have to earn it here. This pace car is going to pull in, and we are green. 133 laps here. Not a great start for Nate. Still about dead even for the top spot.
Think of those new tires, though, having the bottom line. He will prevail. I think the number 7 there is going to take that second spot away.
7 will have the advantage going into turn number 3. He's going to take the bottom there.
Looks
It'll
like
be Cole
Justin Race
Bagunian.
Control called for 81 to return his positions or be black flag. I'm not sure if he jumped the start there or not.
imagine so. Either that or changing lanes, possibly.
Yes, sir. Looks like he did. Looks like he obliged, and we're on our way.
So Nate Lacamy is going to lead the first lap as they are already halfway. Well, actually, no, going into turn 3 now. It seems like that. I've saw a lot of guys in qualifying. Seemed like that high side may have been the line to take. Well, I say that, and there goes the 66 of Chester Gibson there on the high side. He's going to lead that lap. Not by much, though. And now he's going to clear Nate. Nate does seem, though, to have a fast car, so I wouldn't be too worried at this point in time. It's 3 laps in the books now. Your leader, Chester Gibson. Cole Bagunia hunting down for that second spot. Right on the back bumper, that 01.
Cole Bagunia sure is a beautiful name, isn't it, Justin?
I have to agree, yes.
That name only comes along once in a lifetime.
Richard Lafferty's now going to challenge for that third spot there. Had a run coming out of 4, and he's going to put the bumper there.
Oh, yes,
And he's
sir.
gonna
He will
easily
clear
take
him
it.
right there.
So Richard Lafferty to third. He's a pretty good 1.5 mile racer. Might see him here, or him up in front here in just a few.
Like Chester Gibson is starting to stretch out his lead a little bit. Probably got a fast car that we really didn't get to see in qualifying.
Yeah, Nate Lacamy sure has the qualifying stuff down, but it all comes down to how well you race in the race.
Yes, sir. Hot laps don't and never will win races. Unless, of course, it's a hot lap competition.
The gap currently about 0.7 of a second. You can see it right there.
Am I right?
You are right.
Thank you. You know, Justin, I actually made it to last season's Atlanta race. It was during March, like right after February. It was way too cold. Why are we there? It's March.
I believe that was the one where they had the major pileup in turn 3, correct?
It might have been. I just remember it being really cold. That's all I remember. And then it was very southern. Get what I'm saying?
I catch a drift from what you're saying.
I'm not saying that the gentleman in front of us arrived at the track, the 24 pack of Busch Light, but I'm not saying they didn't either, Justin, all right?
I got you, man. I get what you're putting down.
Fewer teeth per capita. Get what I'm saying?
6th place just changed positions. Trevor Apollo going to take that away from Michael Malone.
Looks like Nate is actually maintaining, or he might be inching in towards our leader, Chester Gibson. Take a look at their lap times coming by.
I believe he is. Yeah, that gap's closed down to
Oh,
about
yeah.
0.4 of a second now.
This lap, Chester will run a 29.896. Nate Lacombe crosses the stripe to 29.767. So yeah, that's a tenth. He cut into Chester's lead there.
I don't think Nate lifted through that corner, actually. We were just on board with him. Didn't sound like he lifted at all.
Not bad. If he can capitalize on that, keep it consistent, he'll take this
Yes, sir.
lead back.
A little bit of lifting there through that corner. Close the gap down to about 0.2 of a second. And closing fast. Can see just how good that 01 is hugging the bottom now. He started the race on the high side, but obviously he found out that that line wasn't going to work too well throughout the race, so he's on the bottom now. That gap is kind of stabilized there at about .23 and .24. And you can see he went higher there. Well, actually, I thought that was going to hurt his run, but no, he's actually gaining now.
Oh yeah, that's a big momentum shift right there. He is at his tail now. Richard Lafferty in third place is loving to see this battle start to shape up.
On the rear of the 66 now, looking back to the 01.
Gonna try the outside lane again. It didn't work as well as it did last lap. Maybe Chester's changing up a little bit what he's doing. Yeah, it looks like Nate has definitely moved up a lane.
Yeah, whatever he did last time around, that really worked for him.
Yes, sir. Should I continue with my Atlanta Motor Speedway experience?
I think we got the gist of your experience.
You know,
there.
Justin, I don't think they are going to vote for Hillary Clinton. That's all I'm saying, okay?
Alright, I got you.
The chicken fingers, though. Ooh-wee. Nate back on the bottom here. Looks like I think
So
Nate
he's going to get a
is to the
pretty
point
good
where he
run
can
out of
catch him.
here, I believe.
Yes, sir.
He's
We'll
going to
go
take the high side here. Side by side. Watch this run. Nate's going to get out of the
Oh,
corner,
yeah.
though.
Nate's going to get a big run here. Sir.
There it is, side by side. Nate's going to take it for the moment. I don't think he's going to be able to clear him, though. Well, no, he does. So the 01
Sure.
back to the point. On lap 15 here. I think this is the first time, besides Kansas, obviously that's a high line dominated track, but I think this is the first time I've seen someone move up a groove and it actually pay off here in iRacing.
Yes, sir. I've noticed as we've progressed with the tire model, Atlanta has become more of a, not so much a high groove track, but is now multi-groove, and now with tire wear being improved and more realistic, I mean, you cannot hug that bottom all race long, especially of all tracks Atlanta. You can see Nate moved up. He's full-blown on the high side now, and I think that's going to pay off as the run goes on, conserving those tires, and therefore conserving the speed, the overall speed, as his run goes on.
Got a pretty good battle going on here for the 4th position. 4 cars under a blanket. That would be Trevor Polo in 4th, Cole Bagunia in 5th, Corey Blevin 6th, and Michael Malone 7th. Michael trying to get a run under the 99 there. Our in-race reporter. Actually, that battle right as we got to it kind of settled down. Well, currently we only have one car, 1 lap down, or 3 laps down. That would be the 81 of Cruz Hernandez. Actually catching up on those guys. I think the fresher tires are going to help him scoot by there. Again, just a 16-car field here this week. Wow, that 81 powered on the high side there. That wasn't for position, but obviously you can tell he's on fresh tires. So back up front, that gap has extended to about 0.7 of a second from Nate Lackamy to Chester Gibson. And Richard Lafferty about 1.8 seconds back from Nate. No real big battles going on track right now, so this would be the best one here with the 99 and the 10.
Yes, sir. With this field as spread out as it is, and all the the multi-groove racing, I mean, there's no reason why this thing can't go green all the way. And I mean, if Nate stays consistent, he can walk away with this one. I mean, it looks like Chester Gibson is definitely quicker the first 5 or so laps, but I mean, that's not going to win you a race. Justin, do these guys run a full tank of fuel?
I believe they might. based on what I saw at Daytona.
Sure. So yeah, there's no reason why how everything. I mean, with how clean everything is and how great the racing been so far, that Nate can't walk away with this as long as he stays consistent. So we shall see.
But these guys back here for 6th and 7th, they're staying pretty constant in terms of intervals there. Looks like the 99 slipped up the track just a little bit. But I don't think the 10 had much momentum to gain there, so. Well, here we go now, actually. Well, I thought they were going to be side by side, but they've fallen in behind one another. Another battle that looks to be shaping up back here is between the 18 and the 24. Be Briar LaPrade in the 18 and Thomas Bressy in the 24. I think Nate may have made a small mistake there based on the interval there. That is closed down to about 1 second now. And that gap is actually closing at the moment.
Sure. So it looks like we might see a swapping of the guard as these runs go on. We'll see though. We'll see if Chester can keep up the speed he's running now, or if Nate changes up his line a little bit.
9/10 of a second now, so it's slowly going down, but if they keep up this pace, Chester will be there in a couple laps. Tell you what, one driver that's been on the move ever since the green is that 9 of Trevor Apollo. He just took 3rd away from Richard Lafferty, and man, he's been on the move. Started about 8th, has moved all the way up to the 3rd position. So he may be one driver that Nate has to look out for here, maybe in the closing laps.
Yes, sir. We shall see. It doesn't look like Nate got around him, got a gap, and then at that point has maintained it. I don't know if he's purposely maintaining it or that's just about where we stand. Once again, that's something we'll just have to see as the race goes on. I mean, Nate has a lead. You could say a comfortable lead, but I mean, Chester's right there. There'll be no room for a mistake at all, especially not one that's going to cause damage to the car. So I'd say, Nate needs to keep up what he's doing. Make sure, you're going to be good on pit stops, because it looks like as things are going, we're going to be pitting under green. So make sure, hopefully, we've practiced that.
Whoa! I think Nate hit the what? Something's wrong with the 01 there. He got really loose coming out of the corner. I think he might have hit the wall there.
I'm not showing any damage on my screen personally. How about you, Justin?
I'm not sure. Let's take a look at the replay here real quick, because something definitely happened.
Oh, he's loose?
Race car.
Oh, if you're not live right now, Nate just got very, very loose coming off of turn 2.
Oh, and, yeah,
he's lost the lead.
Very loose coming off the corner. So, I guess now we're gonna have to be dealing with a tight or a loose handling race car here. Already lost the second to the Chester Gibson. Now he's gonna fall into the clutches of the 9 and the 88.
Yes, sir. Whenever you cut away to look at the replay, he got very, very loose coming off of 2, and that's where he lost the lead. And he's losing it big time, and that's what we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast was Nate Lacombe's consistency. And unfortunately, we've had a mishap here. And unfortunately, again, I mean, this race is very, very green. So this is not the type of race you want to be having problems. That Carlos Acosta is calling for a caution here. Not sure if we're going to get it. I'm not sure who the race admin is. Let's see. if that is the case, Nate Lacombe will have a huge break. As long as he didn't get any damage, I don't see any personally. I don't know about you, Justin.
No, he did not hit the wall coming out of turn 4, but
Okay,
very,
so he's
very
got that
loose.
going for him.
And he still has about 100 laps to go, so he didn't fall back too far. He's still 4th on the racetrack right now, so.
Yes, sir. It looks like we're not going to have a caution, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were saying it should have been one, but I think those cars got back rolling. There's a car on the apron here, as you can see, as we cross the start-finish line.
That
The
was the
21.
Kyle
He's
Casey,
down
that
speed.
car's been in the wall.
Yeah, I need to get that thing off track. Because you do not get the caution, do not stay on track until you get it. Pretty please. Like Corey Blevins just made a save as he's playing over the radio. I did not catch that myself. I'm not sure about you, Justin.
Did not. So it looks like a bunch of race cars are getting very loose now. So about, what was that, about lap 31 or somewhere around there. These
Sir,
cars
that
seem
was
to...
pretty crazy.
This car is almost like the Coca-Cola 600 where everyone started getting very loose. It's an interesting turn of the tide here in this race. Chester Gibson has now retaken the lead. Trevor Apollo taking 2nd. Richard Lafferty 3rd. Nate Lacombe will fall all the way back to 4th, but still has a race car in one piece. And here's the caution.
Yeah, it looks like we have a car actually wrecked on the start-finish line.
It was the 45 Brandon Griffiths. Not sure what happened to him. Let's take a look. I believe he's already still stalled here. Yep. It's a little bit farther back. I have a feeling this is going to be just another case. Yep, just another case of a very loose handling race car. Unfortunately, this time he overcorrected it and back into the wall. Although I don't think, well, never mind. He does have some rear end damage. So that's it's pretty crazy when there's a set lap basically where everyone just starts to get very loose.
Yeah, it looks like it just got snappy loose for everybody out of nowhere. That's pretty crazy. So definitely something to watch out for us and, of course, for the drivers. So we shall see when we go back to green about 30 laps in the run if we do make it there to see what happens to the cars.
Well, I would imagine just about everyone is going to come down the pit road here. I think you'd have to be pretty crazy not to, actually. So I guess this would be a semi-good break for Nate Lacombe. Again, he didn't lose too much time on track, but he did lose the lead, so be a bit of a save for him.
Yes, sir. He's got that first pit stall, so that's definitely going to factor in. Let's see if it benefits him. He was, what, 4th pitting in? So let's see. Car's coming off pit road right now. Looks
Trevor Apollo is going to win the battle off pit road here. Nate's going to come out 2nd. Almost some contact there between Chester Gibson and Richard Lafferty.
Not too bad, though, from 4th to 2nd. I'd say Nate caught a big break right there.
So Trevor Apollo, the man on the mission, has taken the lead finally. Nate Lacombe will line up 2nd here on this restart. Chester Gibson 3rd. Richard Lafferty 4th, and Cole Pagunia in 5th. So unfortunate for Trevor, or Chester, he loses about 2 spots there, but got a fast race car. I believe he can make it back up. So at this time, we're gonna take a quick break here, and you won't miss a thing. Might be under caution, but you won't miss a thing. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir. I don't think anybody was prepared for about how loose that car was going to get. Yes, so looks like Chester also going to take second place from Nate Lacombe. I think, like you said, it's always, I always find it personally really difficult to get a good restart when you're on the outside lane. I mean, it's a blind spot and you can't hang back. It's not very courteous to the other drivers. But we'll see. I mean, Nate's got the speed is there for sure. Like we said, he got in there with no damage, fortunately. So we shall see as this run goes on. So we went green on lap 39. So I'd be start looking around lap 69, see if we get loose.
Yes, sir. Second mistake of the night. Microphone was still muted, so tally that one down.
All good. Like I said,
they got pretty coordinated up getting out of that corner. All the guys you saw trying to get away from everyone. So Nate Lacombe has already made his way back up to the second position, going back to that high side where he's been so fast. 66 might try and take the bottom line away. No, he's going to stay right behind the 01. Again, a good run down the backstretch for that 01. Thought about going down below the 9 there to take it, but we'll think better of it and we'll fall back behind. Here comes the run for the 01. He's going to take it on the bottom and easily clear the 9 there. So Nate Lacombe will reclaim the lead here at lap 42. And that mistake he had earlier on about lap 31 probably left his head by now with that.
Yes, sir. Let's hope we can learn from that. Like I said, lap 69, 68 to 70. Always start looking for these cars to get very snappy loose.
Yeah, I've never seen them do that. That's pretty interesting. See the 7 there, just blinking just a little bit. 66 is going to try and take second place there on the bottom side from the 9. So it looks like the 9 of Trevor Apollo is going to have maybe a long run car, it seems, because on that long run we had, he was picking them up and putting them down. Oh, one there on the high side. Whoa. 7 car really blinking now.
Yes, sir.
Saw him hit the wall. I thought that was real for a second.
Looks like we got about 30 or so laps of racing under our belt. Kind of got a little bit more experience. Much more tight-knit now. I mean, Chester Gibson is damn near pushing Nate Lacombe down the straight.
Yes, sir.
Looks like he's be clamoring for that first place position. He's going high here. Don't think it's about that time to do that yet. Looks like the bottom lane is still working.
On board here with the 66. You can see he's starting to take the high side now, so he might be starting to take the Nate approach of getting a good run off the corner.
Yes, sir. That's also going to hold the tires on it, so we'll see how that plays in that later. Because we saw Nate have the better run, the better long run car. But maybe Chester's taking that approach. I'm not so sure because, of course, he's on the bottom lane this time around. Maybe he's just looking for a way around Nate. We shall see.
See both of them taking the high side there this time. Looks like Chester's going to get a pretty good run there down the back straightaway. Is he going to use it? See, he's going to look low on the 0-1 there. Not going to have enough. It's pretty interesting to see that high line, how good of a run it actually gets now. I know before
Yes,
you try and use that, it would basically send you to the back, as we saw with the 0-1 earlier.
Yes, sir. With the new dynamic tracks, I mean, starting with a clean track, the drivers are pretty much deciding the lines themselves. And as you can see, it looks like the high line, especially in 1 and 2, is where I'm seeing a lot more. It looks like people are really preferring the bottom in 3 and 4. Did I say 1 and 4? I'm not sure what I said, but I meant 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. My apologies. Counting is it's a difficult one.
Looks like that lead's gonna settle down for the moment here. Looking back at the pack, basically the top 7 are under a blanket right now. 7th being about 2 seconds back. Under a blanket in terms of a mile and a half. Still got about 12 cars here left on the lead lap. The last one would be Carlos Acosta. Pretty far back in this field, actually.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the night is still young, but I did definitely expect to see Carlos up front earlier this run, but, maybe he knows something that we don't, and we'll just have to keep tabs on him.
The 3 cars down lap would be the 81 of Cruz Hernandez, the 45 of Brandon Griffiths, and then the 15 of Kyle Casey. And it looks like Casey's shoe in 16th may have retired here. Actually, he's sitting up pit road. My mistake.
But Casey Shue is now an admin, however.
Looks like he may have taken over the admin job, as 3rd place is about to change hands here between the 9 of Trevor Apollo and the 88 of Richard Lafferty. Richard looked to give the 9 a run there, but the 9 will take it. Richard got a pretty good run there going into 1, but couldn't do anything with it. That gap between 1st and 2nd looked to close up just a little bit now. See the 66 trying that high line approach yet again. You can get such a good run off the high line. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Yes, sir. It looks like 1 and 2, the high line is definitely preferred. 1 and 2, you really lose that banking fast. Taking the high line, getting the most the most you can out of the banking is definitely looks like the way to go here. I mean, as the run goes on, Nate doesn't really have the gap like he did last run. I mean, they're running pretty much an identical line, identical lap, so not going to be getting away from each other. They got a pretty good gap back to 3rd place. Let's see as the lap goes on. We're about we'll say 14 laps away from about the time we should see these cars get snappy loose.
Speaking of snappy loose, I think one of these guys may have gotten loose off the corner. At 66 last time around probably would have gotten a pretty good run, but you heard him lift off the throttle there just a little bit. Yeah, they don't seem as confident using the high side in 3 and 4 as they do in 1 and 2. Chester again gonna try it. Doesn't look like it'll have too good of a result. As you can see, Trevor Rapolo looks to beginning to come into the picture. Slowly closing that gap, as it is about 0.8 seconds back to Nate. Or to Nate. Nate looked to have probably, I think he stumbled just coming off the corner there in 2. 66 looks like he's going to take the lead. Or at least put the nose in there. He's not going to complete that. See if he gets anything again by using this high lane. On the back bumper of him, but cannot do anything with it. Almost all the way to the grass for that 66 there. As Trevor Rapolo is really loving what he's seeing right now. Slowly closing the gap. It was 0.4 seconds, but now it's about 0.5 of a second back. So we're probably going to have a change for second here pretty soon. Race, do you think Chester could have used his tires up already?
I'm not too sure because, you know, we've really had our focus on Chester and Nate, but really just kind of maintaining the gap, and the gap hasn't changed so much. I think it's just, I'd say Nate is probably running pretty hard to keep Chester away, and I think Chester, of course, is in return running hard to stay with Nate, and I think that might just be paying off for our third place Trevor Rapolo. I'll tell you one thing, we have a hell of a collection of last names in this league. It's beautiful.
Yeah, pretty diverse set of last names here. You saw the 66 wiggle just a little bit there coming off of turn 2. So looseness just starting to creep in there. Looked like he got a little loose in the middle of 3 and 4 there as well. Or in the middle of 3. So one mistake now, and Trevor Rapolo is going to take the second place away from Chester Gibson. All over the back bumper now. Doesn't have enough of a run to do anything with. Now we might have something here. Now he's cooking. He's going to take the bottom going into 1 and should be able to clear him here.
Sorry about that talking right there. I thought my mic was muted.
Well, it's happened to both of us
racing.
now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know. Look, it's time to add 1 tally to racing mistakes. I hope you still love me.
So he wasn't able to clear him. That high side obviously prevailing at the moment.
Yes, sir. But all
But
that
not in
racing
3 and
was
4.
like-
Here he comes.
Oh. He'll clear him. Can he hold it here, though? Chester's going to take that outside, as we can see. It's very, very fast, out of 2. I think he should clear him, but Chester, no, I think he'll be all right here. But all that racing they just did, now Nate, let me look the lead Nate has now, so we'll see if see if Trevor Rapolo can start to pull him in a little bit. We're nearing, like I said, about 4 laps to that 30 lap mark. See if we start getting loose here. We shall see.
Well, with that, we know now that 1 and 2 the high side can work, and 3 and 4 probably still has a little bit more work to do to rubber that in. So that gap is about a second to first and second. Nate doing a pretty good job pulling away now from Trevor Polo. But again, we're going to have to be a little bit cautious here because we're coming up on that mark. Battle for 5th here could be heating up between Cole Pagunia and Michael Malone for 5th. Seven going to try that high side. Not sure how well it's going to pay off for him.
Yes, sir. It looks like, I mean, we're about into that window now where it seems the car starts to loosen up. And, of course, we're hitting this window with the knowledge the car is going to loosen up. So definitely interested seeing how that goes down.
So Trevor Rapolo is now pulling away from Chester Gibson in 3rd, but not really gaining anything on Nate Lackamy. That gap is about stable at 1.1 seconds from 1st to 2nd. The gap back to 3rd about 2 seconds. So the next question would be, if they have to start making green flag pit stops, what's the gap there? I don't think anyone in qualifying did a fuel run. I know Carlos is known to do fuel runs, but I don't believe he did one in practice, so.
Yes, sir. I have no clue. No clue at all, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Hey, here we go. Nate just got really loose again coming off of 2. We'll see what happens here coming off turn 4. Yeah, it looked okay there, but I guess we're getting in that window yet again. There's not much happening here in the back of the field. You saw Cruz Hernandez there on the bottom line.
I can definitely hear after Nate got loose out of turn 4, he's definitely much lighter on the throttle leaving turn 4 that time. So I think we're definitely learning from our mistakes in the last run here. I would assume the fuel run can't be much more than 45 laps.
Yeah, not with how long these guys are going on the throttle, I would imagine. But very interesting to see how these cars have a specific lap before they start snapping.
I mean, it's immediate. It's really, really crazy.
Yeah, we're just not seeing it now because I'm sure most of the drivers have learned from the last run. So it looks like Nate may start hitting some lap traffic here. The car in front of him is the 21 of Kyle Casey. He's 3 laps down.
I thought he was going to pull that thing into pit road. Maybe he just got loose on the apron a little bit. I think I saw Nate get just a tad loose there.
Yeah. Coming out
no harm,
of 4.
no foul, though.
Again, that gap between 1st and 2nd is stabilized about 1.1 to 1.2 seconds, and 3rd place has fallen all the way back to about 4.5 seconds. So it doesn't look like Chester Gibson's handling the transition too well at all.
Oh, so that's a huge fall off there.
That's probably one thing, because we know from last race some of these drivers are trying to adjust from iRacing or from the consoles to iRacing. So that's one thing these guys are going to have to learn in making that change.
Yes, sir. In iRacing, especially recently, in the change in the tire model, you definitely cannot run this thing as fast as you can lap after lap. Like we said time and time again this evening, especially at Atlanta, it'll show very, very quickly. As you can see, Chester Gibson, who was once leading this race, is now falling behind way back in 3rd place. I think he was running like a second off of what Nate in 2nd place where Polo's pace was.
Well, I presume that green flag pit stops are going to be coming up here pretty quickly, so we're going to take a quick break here, and then we'll come back for what we hope will be green flag pit stops. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the High Voltage Racing League, presented by RK Productions. Green flag pit stops, again, assuming they're fairly close by. As you can see, Nate starting to really get loose now, and that gap is closed in a hurry. You saw it during break. Either Nate's not handling the transition very well, or Trevor's going to hold out.
He's being very, very, very conservative in turns 3 and 4. I mean, as you can tell, I use a lot of variance in there, so I'm very serious about this. He's hardly on the throttle all throughout the turn, then very conservative, leaving it. And I think, you know, Nate definitely used up his tires holding off Chester. I think Trevor Rapolo's got a good set of tires still left in that thing.
Yeah, might have been.
We'll just see when green flag's pit stop run up here.
Again, the rest of these guys have not been handling the transition well. Third place is about 6.5 seconds back from Nate, so these guys back there are really struggling. Nate's going to have to deal with a lap car here. That'd be the 45 of Brandon Griffiths. Oh, got loosed off turn 2. That's going to let the 9 close up. He's going to take the bottom going into 3, but not going to have enough to get by him. Should the other one look to get a little loose.
Right there.
Yeah, Nate got loose there, and there goes the 9.
Almost into the wall, man. You better watch that.
So Trevor Rapolo will take the lead here finally at lap 82. I say finally, under green flag conditions, that is.
Yes, sir. He's the first person to lead other than Nate and Chester, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. As of right now, Nate would be the most laps led, with 54. Chester Gibson has led 20, and then Trevor Rapolo has led 7. Those have been the only 3 lap leaders here today. With that, we'll do a quick race recap. Only had 1 caution here today for 4 caution laps, with 6 lead changes.
Been a pretty competitive race up front for those top 3 spots. I think Nate is trying to refine his line a little bit, or maybe the wear and tear of the tires is starting to show up on Rapolo's car. I'm not too sure. Although, never mind, Nate got very, very loose right there.
Pass for
wow.
Third place, or 4th place, excuse me, between Richard Lafferty and Chester Gibson. Lafferty will take over the 4th spot here. So back up front. Again, nothing has changed. That lead's about to go to a second here between Trevor Rapolo and Nate Lackamay. So with 50 laps to go here now, the main question, when are green flag pit stops going to take place?
Yes, sir. That is definitely the biggest question. Unfortunately, we didn't get to have a note of that during practice, so we'll just have to wait and see. I can tell you, though, when we went to green after that caution was about 39, Nate loose again.
I bet you or really, the O1 is screaming to get on pit road as Kyle Casey looked to be having some issues yet again. Very unfortunate race, or very bad race Kyle Casey is having today. Looks like he may have hit the wall yet again. I believe Carlos Acosta had just come down for a green flag pit stop. So we'll see him ripping through this field very quickly.
I don't think staying out is going to pay off here at all.
No, sir, but we're going to have
It's like
another
Nate
battle
Lacombe's
for...
going to bring it in, but very quickly. Did he get it down to...
Oh!
Man, look at that. Locks him up, almost spins it out. Was he speeding on pit road?
With how the brake lock up there, I would have to imagine he might have been, but iRacing may have given him a break there. While Nate was coming down to pit road, we have a car turned around there on the backstretch. That'd be the 45 of Brandon Griffiths. No caution though because he was off the racing surface. That was probably a case of he getting loose. Let's he's gonna go around again. Let's take a quick look here at what went down there.
A little recap on what's actually happening right now. Live in the race, Rapolo got out in front of Nate Lacombe. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see if he got a black flag. I don't think he did. And if he didn't, if anything, he made pretty good time on pit road. He seems to be passing pit lane entries, so I think he made it out safe that time.
There goes Richard Lafferty. Got really loose there on the front straightaway. He's going to save it, however. Good save on him as well.
I mean,
he is not yet pitted.
Loose.
Yeah, he is not yet pitted, so he may want to pull it in here. As Ray said, there's really no advantage of staying out here, especially with how bad this tire give up is now. I think he may. Now he's gonna pull it in here. That would give the lead over to Chester Gibson, who, again, I don't think has pitted quite yet.
I gotta be honest, I don't see why you'd be staying out, especially Chester Gibson. I mean, who's in contention for the lead. I mean, Nate and Rapolo have got to be putting probably 2 seconds a lap on him. That's crazy.
There's only about 5 cars left here on the lead lap due to green flag pit stops. As race had reported, Trevor Polo got ahead of Nate Lacombe on pit stops, as expected. So it looks like the only 2 that have not pitted yet would be the 66 of Chester Gibson and the 8. Well, nope, here comes Chester now. And Gunther Datsun has stayed out, and he'll take the lead.
I know Gunther was deeper in the field, so, I mean, in his sense, it makes sense to go out and lead a lap, get you a point. But, Chester was sitting 3rd place, and that's really going to hurt him. I mean, the lead guys right now are running 29.6s, whereas they're running 32, 33, so that's going to hurt. Looks like Brian LaPrade has had a throughput. Looks like he's disconnected, has some internet issues. He was on the lead lap, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, he is now shown 13th, 4 laps down after blocking out. That is definitely unfortunate. Looks like Nate Lacombe is starting to reel in Rapolo, but you think, you got to note down how Rapolo took care of his tires and took over the lead.
Yes, sir.
So we shall see if this is a smart move or not. I think that was our last pit stop because we pitted in 39. Looks like they started pitting around 89. So that's our last pit.
I would have to imagine so, yeah. So,
and here's the thing: we're going to be finished this. I mean, we're going to finish this race very, very loose. So
that'll make for a very interesting
tires
finish.
On my car.
Should we not have another caution here? That'll be set up for a very, very interesting finish. So Gunther Datsun.
If I was Trevor Rapolo, I would realize, Nate's got a fast car, but he's going to use that car up.
Yes.
Over the course of the run, and be very, very loose there at the end, and it'll pretty much be the same situation where Polo just takes the lead back and then could potentially win this race if he sticks to the strategy he is racing. Looks like he's wanting to get kind of racy with Nate Lacombe, and it's on the inside of him coming to the stripe. Not sure how smart this is, but it's it's good entertainment. We'll take it.
So with that, they really don't have much of a battle there for the first two positions, as third place is 10 seconds back. That would be the 7 of Cole Bagunia. And then behind him in fourth place, at about 14 seconds, be our in-race reporter of Corey Blevins.
Haven't had a chance to speak to him thanks to all the green flag racing. Chester Gibson, who was third place, 1 point leading this race, he stayed out, and now he's sixth place, 21 seconds behind this lead group. So, like I said, if you're in contention for like a top 4 to 5th spot, I don't think staying out as loose as these cars get was a smart decision at all, especially as green as this race is looking. But then again, I mean, these two guys up front are racing side by side on our last stretch. I mean, it's going to be a stretch for sure. It'll be about a 40-lap run, so we shall see.
Yeah, with the tire fall off, that'll, again, like I said, will make for a very exciting finish. I would have to imagine that we may have one more caution coming towards the end of the race with, again, how loose these cars are getting. We already saw one car sideways on the back straightaway. We didn't get a caution because he was off the racing surface, but I have to imagine maybe something like that would happen again. Maybe someone overcorrect, but...
Sir.
Trevor,
Now,
go ahead.
Trevor is making a big effort to get around Nate, but Nate is riding that high line. He's clearly riding pretty comfortably. He's pretty quick up there. So I'd imagine that Nate is not using up his tires nearly as much as Trevor right now. And the big successor on Trevor's last run was his conservation of tires. So I don't know how smart this is for Trevor Rapolo. He could really be forfeiting the win, but looks like he might clear him here. We shall see.
No, not quite yet, but if Nate takes the
high
high
line
side,
is just
yeah,
too quick.
Nate's going to take the high line and obviously clear him.
Because A, you have more banking, and B, you don't allow the guy under you to push up and make a full run out of the corner. If I were Trevor Rapolo, I would sit behind Nate and hold my tires. Because you're going to need them, especially with, it's going to come down. We'll have like 40-something laps on our tires coming to the checkers. So, like I said, we'll see. Maybe Rapolo knows something we don't.
Yeah, if I was Trevor, I wouldn't worry too much right now of getting that lead back. We still have about 35 laps to go, but again, I wouldn't push it just quite yet. Saw the 21 there going into pit road. It seems like the night just keeps getting worse and worse for that team. So that gap has stabilized now to about 0.3 of a second between first and second. And then third place is actually closed in quite a lot. That gap has gone from about 10 seconds to about 6 now. Very interesting to see back there.
Yeah, it's actually closing very fast. An eye on Cole Bagunia. Looks Yes, sir. The only successful strategy I could be seeing be used right now is trying to pressure Nate into a mistake. But I don't know if that's a smart one, as it seems Nate's really got this car down now.
At least right now. I'd wait just a little bit longer into a run when we start loosening up to try and pressure him in.
Yes, sir.
Because
Cole Bagunia does. He's continuing.
Yeah, he's closing up in a hurry.
Yeah, just really quick. this is surprising, especially as fast as we've seen Nate. Well, I'll just keep an eye on that. Oh my. 7/10? This is crazy. Cole Bagunia is coming for the lead in a hurry.
He might have pitted earlier than, or later than what these guys pitted. Might have been on fresher tires. This lap car of Michael Skinner, last week's winner, is going to challenge for the lead here, a lap down. So he's racing for his lap as of right now.
Yeah, Nate
There he
looks like
goes.
he said to go low. Bagungi is now 4.8 seconds away. This is impressive. I don't know where the speed's at.
Fourth place now, only 9 seconds back.
Wow.
People closing up in a hurry. I'm not quite sure, like you said, where that speed's coming from, but
I have no
They're on a move.
explanation, but it's about to
Question
get very
is-
entertaining.
question is he gonna make it here, make it to the front? Because we only have 29 laps to go, so looks like that stabilized to about 4.4 as he's gonna lose a second now, or lose a tenth. Well, the gap's now closing again. If these guys start racing side by side again, that'll close that gap up in a hurry to third place. That's one thing to note too.
Bagunga has
Boy, that
closed in
9.
another 3/10.
That 9 used up all the bottom of the racetrack, and he's actually side by side with the 01 right now. I'm not sure if he'll make it stick coming out of 4. That's pretty. I haven't seen yet tonight a car do that. Use all of the bottom with a car on the high, or really the middle to
Oh, yeah.
high line. So he's not
If
going to
he
get the
can clear
lead,
him,
but
he's golden.
if they keep
They're
racing
gonna
side
have
by
problems
side,
with the left car here. Looks like Richard. Oh, that's not Richard Lafferty. I'm sorry. He's 8 in the other league. Looks like Gunther Datsun. He'll get there and mix things up a little bit. He'll take the low side. Bagunga is still catching them at a very, very alarming rate. I'm really excited to see if he can get up there.
I was going to say, I thought that lap car might have opened up the bottom lane there for Trevor Apollo, but didn't have enough momentum to do anything with. That gap to third place is now 3.7 seconds back, so still
Yeah,
got
he
a
only
long
closed
way,
the 10th
but
that lap. That's the last.
I'm hoping he
He
has
might
some.
have.
I'm hoping he has some tires left for when we start breaking loose here.
Yeah, he only got a 10th that lap. He might have plateaued. We shall see. We'll check this time by.
The gap between first and second is still stabilized to about 0.2 of a second. These guys haven't been able to lose each other.
It looks like Bagunga lost some time this lap, so I'd say he ran that thing as hard as he could, and it's starting to show. Man, keep an eye on that. That was impressive, regardless.
Yeah, if I were him, I'd start cooling down the tires and just waiting for the show to start, if you will. Looking back in the field here, a battle for 5th between the 99 of Corey Blevins and the 88 of Richard Lafferty. Richard's going to take that spot away. Those two with some rear end damage, so obviously something happened to them back in the pack there. Here we go again, a battle for the lead here. The 9 used all of the bottom of the racetrack. Gonna try and clear the 01 there. Cleared right now. But that high line is gonna prevail, it looks like. I think they might still be side by side coming off the corner, yes. But not for long, it looks like. Boy, that looks like middle line is just so powerful coming off the corner.
Yeah, I'd say if Rapolo can get on the bottom on the closing laps, he'll be able to make that work. But you definitely do not want to lose pay right now. Like, he lost some time doing that. Let's see if he can make it back up. If he makes it back up, it would be pretty obvious he has a quicker car. Just Nate, of course, is running the preferred lane. Now 4/10 behind Nate. We'll see if he can close that gap back up. As Nate seems to be heading to the high side now. We're just about at that window where these cars are starting to snap you loose. And last run, pretty much every run, did something Nate deals with that too well. So we shall see. Like Rapolo's trying to close the gap up just a little bit here. He knocked down the 10th off that time. So he'll be able to reel Nate back in.
Looked like Nate got really loose in one. Saw from the gyro there, it looked like Nate really snapped.
Rapolo with a 10th and a half off of Nate's lead. So yeah, he'll be able to get back up to him. He's got I mean, we still have, what, 18 laps left? 19 laps?
Yeah, that gap is closed back down to 0.2 of a second. So back where it started. And the gap back to third is leveled out at 3.8 seconds.
Pretty good run, though. That was crazy. But he gave it all he got, and unfortunately, just a little bit too far back. Race is not over yet. There could be a caution. I mean, it's been pretty green. I mean, we had one caution this whole race, so I definitely would not be counting on it. Looks like Rapolo is going to have the run on the high side here.
Yeah, Nate's going to give up that high side.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
How about that? Oh, and he gets loose as well.
Just about loses it, and then almost goes back. Almost goes back into the 9.
Wow, he clears him. Rapolo will take the lead. Now, can he hold it?
Look like he got a little bit loose coming off the corner, but he's going to be in the preferred line. But they're going to be catching up on lap traffic.
Nate's going to take it back, I mean, commandingly.
That was a power move going into one. Not going to give it up easily, though.
He's just going to push it down the straight. Wow.
Well.
I mean, Nate did not hesitate to take that back. Very impressive. Get past lap traffic there.
Last week's winner, Michael Skinner, going a lap down.
Wow.
Well, I think we know who.
Oh, almost to the wall. I thought he was
Oh, Michael Skinner's going to rub the wall.
All right, this is getting crazy.
We've reached a snapping point again. Question is, who's going to have the best car control at this point?
Oh yeah, Nate's loose off of that turn there as well.
Again, pretty incredible how this happens, but...
Rapolo with a better run out of turn 2 here. Looks like Nate has a small correction exiting turn 4 every time, where Rapolo does not.
And that could be the difference between victory lane and second. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of mistakes coming from the 9 car really all day, so looks like the 9 is on top of it in terms of car control.
I mean, we still have over. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You know how numbers are.
Oh, we have a caution on the speedway.
Caution.
That'd be Carlos Acosta around.
Oh wow! So everything changed.
Yes, sir.
Throw it out the window. Now here's where the fun begins.
Well, before we
We're
get
gonna come in and get tires.
Yeah, before we get to pit stops, let's check out what happened to Carlos Acosta there. He's going to go a lap down due to this. He just gets loose coming off the 4 and then spins it around. Does he hit anything? Oh, almost clipped the 8 there of Gunther Dadson. So no damage to that 2 car, and that just made this race a whole lot more interesting. Everyone.
Yeah, so pretty much everything has changed. So is everybody coming in for ties here? Is anyone going to stay out?
Michael Skinner's going to stay out, but he has a lap down, so he's going to get the free pass.
All right, so we're all coming in for tires now. Of course, Nate has that preferred pit box in the number 1 stall. So of course, pitting in first place to the best pit stop on pit road. No reason why he can't come back out on top. We'll just see about Rapolo.
I doubt we're going to see it, but maybe a possible 2-tire strategy. But I would not
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
expect it with how quick these tires wear. Trevor Polo going to get out first. He's going to beat Nate out.
Oh, that changes.
And Nate's going to
everything as well.
stop. He's going to play the... Oh, he's going to play the game
I've
of
never seen
counting
that in
cards.
iRacing. Have you seen that
Very,
on
very
iRacing,
interesting. I have never seen that in iRacing. No, I've never seen a driver try that.
Justin? Of course,
This is a
we've seen it
first.
on track in NASCAR, but man, changes everything again. Very. That's either a great or detrimental call right there.
I guess I'm not sure if it's the same in iRacing, but I know in NASCAR the high lane doesn't seem to get too good of a restart. I mean, we saw that before with Nate not getting too good of a restart, so I guess he's learned. Very, very interesting. Wow. Well, you know what? Since we have some time, let's bring in our in-race reporter here. Corey, you got us?
Yeah, 10-4.
Well, first of all, let's ask you this. It's been pretty crazy. At about 31 laps into a green flag run, these cars just seem to snap. How hard is it to control from inside the car? Because we've seen a lot of guys getting loose there.
Oh yeah, it's really been a handful tonight. Probably the loosest cars that I've ever driven, honestly, on iRacing. This track tends to do that. It's really bad in 3 and 4 especially. But 1 and 2 is getting pretty bad there on a real long run too. So I'm kind of glad for a short run. I mean, I wouldn't have minded that going green till the end, but you know, I'll try to get the best finish I can out of it.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're going to be going to green here with about 8 laps to go. What do you got left for this field?
I believe I have a top 5 car, considering I'm pretty good on short runs, but we'll see here. I know I got some competition here, so try to hold them off.
All right, well, good luck, and hope to see you there in the top 5.
All right, thanks.
Very, very interesting. Again, how these cars just... We've said it all night, but I just have to keep reiterating it. It's very interesting how these cars just seem to snap at a certain number.
So I'm really, really excited to see what's going to happen. So, I mean, I think Nate made a smart move considering, like you said, it's going to be 8 laps until the finish.
Yeah, and
So, I mean, you know, we're looking at 12 miles of racing. I mean, that's plenty of time to make a move. However, we have seen the speed from Bugunia, and
yeah,
we got Richard Lafferty up there. We know he's quick. Chester Gibson. I mean, the top 5 are all very quick. So, who knows? I'm really excited to see this.
So yeah, we saw at least one time tonight. The restart didn't show really anything, but the last restart, the high line did not get going at all. And that was Nate Lackamy in that high lane, so obviously he learned something and will be restarting 3rd after a dead stop on pit road. So buckle your seatbelts, folks. It's about to get pretty crazy here. So the pace car is going to dive in. And we're green.
Polo with a great restart. Bugunia not so much. Begunga will pull down, and that pretty much solidifies Nate in the 3rd position. Most likely 4th. We'll see. Oh, looks like Nate might pressure for it. Nope, Begunga shuts the door. He gave him a little bit of tap there. No harm, no foul. As the great little Colonel Sanders says,
Oh,
I'm too drunk to taste this chicken. Begunga will hold that 2nd place position. Nate Lacombe in 3rd. Rapolo with a pretty sized lead. I think Rapolo's going to be faster than Begunga, and Begunga's going to hold up. Nate, we shall see how Nate handles this. Justin, I'm really just curious, how many times do you think I can say we shall see in one broadcast?
I'm not too sure, man, but I guess we'll see.
We might need a counter. We shall see.
We'll work on that for next week. So,
All right.
Nate Lackaby going to try all sorts of lanes here to try and get by that 7, but we said before that 7, it seems like he has short run speed, and, well, he's right there with about 6 laps to
The
go.
wall in the back to 24, caution. That should not end the race?
I don't believe that
know.
will end the race. No, it might be a 2-lap situation. But,
Sure. If you don't mind, under this caution, Justin, nature calls. I'll be right back.
All right. See the 24 though. Wow, can't really see much what happened due to all the blinking. So tough night for Thomas Bressi. Don't think that'll end his night, but this is gonna make this restart a whole lot more interesting. Not much has changed up front. Trevor Polo is still your leader. Cole Begunga is going to start 2nd yet again with a very, very strong short-run car. Looks like they might be slowing down for the pace car here. Either that or they got to catch up to it. Nope, there's the pace car. They're going to catch up and be interesting to see if anybody comes in. I don't imagine they would, but you never know. Alright, so I believe pit road would be open. Any takers? The 8 of Gunther Dadson. Well, thought about it. He's not going to come in. And you can see there, a very empty pit road. Well, see the 2 of Carlos Acosta. He's going to get the wave around. A small break for him. I would imagine we might have gotten 2 to go there, maybe. If so, it's either going to be a green-white checker or a white checker. We will have to see. I would have to imagine they might be doing 1-lap racing, because we know 3-wide racing does not do that, but this is not 3-wide racing, so.
Good
Most
day.
likely different circumstances. As you heard, Rice is back from his little call with nature.
Of nature.
Yeah, call of nature.
All this racing's got me worked up. My apologies.
Yeah, man. Understandable. So if they got 2 to go this time around, no one came down pit road, so be interesting to see. Watch the top of the pace car, because if we don't get going now, it'll be a, like I said, white checker.
So we're doing a 1-lap shootout?
It would appear that way. Because we got 2 to go this time.
All right. Well, 1-lap shootout
Well,
is about to turn into a party.
it's gonna get very crazy here.
Justin,
Yes, sir.
we shall see.
Yes, we shall see. Now, hold on to your helmets, because this is gonna get pretty crazy. Be really interesting to see, as I mentioned, helmets. What the 7 car has. Fast on the short runs, but if that 9 car gets out too far ahead on this restart, it's probably game over for everyone else.
Justin, are you saying I wear a helmet?
Excuse me?
Are you saying I wear a helmet?
I mean, you could be wearing a helmet. I'm not sure.
Wow. We shall see.
I guess we shall. So, lap leaders for this race, Nate Lackamy is led 83. He's going to lock that up. Trevor Polo and Chester Gibson will be tied for, well, not now. Trevor's going to take it away, but they both have 21 laps led. Cole Bagunia has 1 lap led. Richard Lafferty with 2 laps led. And then Gunther Dadston with 2 laps led. A quick race recap with 3 cautions for 12 caution laps and 16 lead changes. It's going to be a 1-lap shootout. We see the lights on the pace car still lit up, so obviously they're going to go through with it. So this race will not end under yellow, unlike last week's race, which will be good to see. So expect craziness and desperation here, I'd have to say, on this restart.
All right, well, let's do it to it.
So we're going to wait on the pace car to pull in, and we'll have to see when the 8 will pull away, or the 9, excuse me. So green flag is out. Oh, Nate didn't, or
Wow.
Nate went early. 7 car didn't lose too much there. He might have something.
Yeah, it looks like Nate tried to jump the
There goes the
restart
7
and
to the
pretty much-
inside of the 9.
Hey,
Oh, the
Nate!
9's going to get turned. Oh,
And Nate-
no.
Oh, the Nate to the lead. It looks like someone's going to go under him.
Michael Skinner to the lead, actually.
Mike Skinner to the lead.
He's trying to make it 2 in a row for the high velocity, or, high voltage racing league here. Nate Lackamy looks like he's
Nate
going to
with
come
a
up
big
1 position
run.
short. Oh my goodness, he's going to do it. Checkered flag for Michael Skinner.
Wow.
He's going to make it 2 in a row.
Wow.
Wow.
Nate Lacombe tries to jump the restart, wrecks the whole field, and Mike Skinner takes 2 in a row.
I did not see that. Actually, position showing Michael Skinner in 3rd. Not sure what's up with that.
Not so sure. I got him as winning on my screen.
Well, he says differently on my leaderboard here, but the leaderboard shows Michael Skinner as the leader, so we'll roll with that. So that's
Wow.
yeah, that's all we can say for that one. Wow. Well, he's gonna do his celebratory burnouts here. That's Carlos Acosta gonna, with the blown up engine, say congratulations to him. Wow, wow, wow. Well, let's take a look at where they all finished. Michael Skinner, obviously your winner here, and Nate Lackamy is going to come home 2nd, 1 position short of where he wanted to finish tonight, but not a bad night overall. Chester Gibson is going to come home 3rd, Gunther Dadston 4th, and Michael Malone 5th.
Too bad. I had my money on Trevor Rapolo in that restart there. It just looks like, I mean, Trevor Rapolo, he didn't necessarily back with the field. He just slowed down the pace, and like Nate tried to just kind of guess the start and ran into the back of.
Yep, so Corey Blevins going to come home 6th, Cole Bagunia going to come home 7th, Carlos Costa 8th, Trevor Apollo 9th, the hard 9th to swallow there, and Richard Lafferty is going to come home 10th, and you got Thomas Bresci, coming home in 11th, Cruz Hernandez 12th, Kyle Casey 13th, Briar LaPrade 14th, Brandon Griffiths 15th, and Casey Shue coming home in 16th. And obviously I did not race.
What about 17th, Justin?
Well, 17th's up in the booth here right now.
Hey, not a bad run, Justin. 133 laps down.
Yes, sir. So, Michael's going to take his Polish victory lap here, and we're going to take a quick break here, and then we'll be back with the interviews. Don't go away. Well, welcome back to the High Voltage Racing League here at Atlanta, presented by RK Productions. And crazy turn of events here happened on the last lap here with the white checker, and somehow Michael Skinner is going to make it 2 for 2 here in the High Voltage Racing League. Michael, how the hell did you do that?
Uh, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I think I started either like 8th or 10th on that last restart, and the seas kind of just parted perfectly, and I drove straight through. So a little bit of luck, I led the right lap. That's all that matters, I guess.
I'd have to say, all the luck was on your side tonight, because we saw you getting passed for one lap down earlier in the race, and somehow you made it back, and as you said, the seas parted. So, Race, you got any comments on that one?
No, that was just pretty entertaining. It just looks like Nate tried to jump the restart and wrecked everybody, and then Michael Skinner won it. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I started from the pits. I missed my pit box under a green flag pit stop after working my way up to 5th, and then I go a lap down, and then somehow that happened. So it wasn't perfect, but I'll take anything that comes my way at this moment.
Yeah, I have to say. So, congratulations on 2 for 2, and well, go make it 3 for 3 in the next one.
Thanks, and I'll try. Hope you had a good time broadcasting, and I'm glad you had a friend up there, and I still love you.
I love you too, man. It's always nice to have friends up here. So, with that, we're gonna bring in our second place finisher here, Nate Lackamy. You led 83 laps there, and looks like it just didn't all go right for you on that last restart. Talk us through that.
Oh yeah, I think we pretty much lost it there on pit road. Pit stop just wasn't very good, and came out third, which was the plan. But yeah, they all just wrecked there, and just went the wrong way.
Yeah, we saw you stop there on pit road. Obviously, that was to get on that inside line there. I guess it was a little bit of learning there because we saw you start on the outside there, and I'm guessing there was some bad tire spin on the outside.
No, I just didn't get on the gas soon enough. But yeah, I definitely tried to get on the inside there on that final pit stop. Otherwise, I would have been second, so figured I had a better chance on the inside.
All right, Race, you got anything for that one?
No, sir. Just a good racing up front all day. It's too bad I had to end that way.
Yeah, I definitely probably should have been 9 or myself here, but that's just the way it is.
All right, well, it's probably no consolation to you, but bonus point for leading the most laps. Definitely a dominant car this week, and hopefully you can carry that on to next week. So looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yep, thank you.
So Chester Gibson is not on TeamSpeak, so we're going to end it there. And what a pretty crazy race there we saw, especially towards the ending of the race there, Race.
Yeah, that was something else, to be honest. I mean, because you think about it, I mean, the racing wasn't too crazy all race long. Of course, cars got snappy loose at the end of the run for all of it to end like that. So overall, I mean, it was a good race. You can't. I mean, it always sucks to see a big last lap crash, but that's just part of racing, especially sim racing when there is no real consequence for tearing up the car. That's just going to happen. Overall, good race. A good win for Mike Skinner. That's 2 in a row for him in this league. And I suppose we'll just see you turkeys next week.
Yes, sir. So thanks for watching tonight, and we'll see you next week here for the High Voltage Racing League. For Race Clark, I'm Justin Kolb. We'll see you next week.